Hey, check this out. We're discussing an interesting perspective on college. Should you go to college or should you skip college? The answer will depend on your goals and your plan of action, as well as the price that you're willing to pay, because there's a price no matter which option you choose, and you have to be okay with the price if you want to reach your goals, because that's what it costs. There's many pros and cons on whether or not you choose the college route versus just joining the workforce or even starting a business, but each option has a price to be paid. One of the pros of going to college is that college graduates make more money. Des, what are your thoughts on this take?
For the most part, I do agree with that. They do earn more money up front, and I believe that they earn more money over the long term as well. But there are some jobs that do not pay a whole lot for fresh college graduates. Maybe around $30,000 to $40,000 a year. I personally met someone who had a degree, and I believe her salary was only like $35,000. But that's still good for someone that's like 23, 24 years old, fresh out of college. They shouldn't really have much debt besides the school debt anyway. So you can still build some really, really good wealth off of that just starting out if you live modestly. And then as time go on, you will advance in career, and then you can start really earning a lot better and a higher salary, get more benefits, and you'll have even more options as well as you start to advance in your career, maybe about 5 to 6 years or something like that.
Yeah, that's a great point that you made. I think people that are considering going to college should keep in mind that they may start off making a smaller salary than, they initially expected. But that's not a bad thing because they can still use that money to focus on paying off that debt. And once they get more training and learn some more, they'll be able to get better opportunities and make more money and get more benefits.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. You just need to keep in mind that as soon as you get out of college, just find you a really, really good job, work there, gain some experience, because you're going to have some experience if you want to get the high six-figure jobs anyway. So don't worry about trying to make a lot of money when you get out. Just focus on paying that debt down. That way, when you get that experience and you start making some really, really good money, you won't really have to worry about paying that debt at that time because you've probably been done paid it off.
Exactly, and that brings me to one of the cons of being a college graduate, and that is student loan debt. It can be crippling for some college graduates. What are your thoughts on this take?
Well, it's only crippling because of the way college students choose to live once they graduate. Most college students, as soon as they graduate, they're going to try to buy a house, a car. They're usually trying to get married. They'll start buying things, and they shouldn't really be doing that. They should be focusing on paying that debt down first. That should be the number one priority. Even if you have to live at home with your parents, I would rather do that so that way I can get that debt paid down as soon as possible. That way I can start doing all of that stuff later on once I get that debt paid down. But if you do it that way, the debt is not so crippling at that point because you can just double up on the payments and get it paid off in probably 2 to 3 years. Maybe a $30,000, $40,000 loan. I mean, you can get that paid off in probably 3 years. That's easy, but you're not going to get it paid off in 3 years if you're making the minimum payments on those loans. And then you're spending the rest of your money living, buying clothes, trying to get married, buying cars and other things. That's not the way that you do it. That's not a good way to get a return on your investment. In fact, you'll end up paying more interest doing it that way.
Yeah, I agree. I think once people graduate from college, they should really focus on paying off that debt and wait to get married and start buying things. And that's kind of like the sacrifice that you have to make when going to college. But it'd be worth it in the end because you'll have more opportunities and you're saving a lot of money.
That's exactly right. That's the sacrifice that you have to make. I get it. I know everybody wants to buy clothes, buy a house, a car, get a family, do all of those things. I get it. It's tough and you want to do that. But that's going to be really hard to do, and it's only going to cost you more money in the long run if you get fresh out of college and you start doing those things instead of focusing on paying that debt off. That's most important right now. That's the sacrifice, and that's the price that you have to pay when you go to college. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck paying that debt for about 10 to 15 years.
You're right. So here's another pro of going to college. Jobs increasingly require college degrees. What are your thoughts on this take, Daz?
Yes, this is true. I've actually been noticing this quite a bit, that jobs are increasingly requiring college degrees, even for maybe like a lower end job. So for those people that can go to college and are, smart enough to actually do it, but maybe on the fence a little bit because of the college debt or for other reasons, you might want to think twice about that because jobs are increasingly requiring college degrees. So if you can go to college and actually, learn those things pretty much at ease, go ahead on and go to college and get that degree because you're going to be grateful for it when you get out into the workforce and you start applying for these jobs. And you're going to notice that they're going to start requiring college degrees. Now, there will be a lot of competition. That's part of life. There's going to be competition whether you got a degree or if you don't have a degree. So you just kind of have to overlook that and just be prepared for the competition of getting that job and just put in multiple applications. It's not going to be easy. Nobody said it's going to be easy. If it was, everybody would just do it. But think twice about not going if you were on the fence about going.
Yeah, exactly. I've been noticing this trend as well. And I think it's best that people that decide that they don't want to go to college but are still trying to get a high paying job should really reconsider this, because we're going to start seeing it more and more in the future. So it's best to prepare and really think about it before you really make the decision just not to go at all.
So with that being said, education, whether it be traditional college or non-traditional education, such as YouTube or other programs and courses not related to traditional schooling, is perhaps one of the most important ingredients to a happy, successful, and constructive lifestyle. The following quotes will make you think deeply about education and motivate you to continue the process of learning something new each day. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Benjamin Franklin. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. Jim Rohn. Remember, stay humble and strive to perfect your character to the highest degree, and stay focused on your dreams and goals, and have a practical perspective on life. Life is how you see it.